In October, President Bola Tinubu granted pardon and clemency to 175 people, ranging from late nationalist Herbert Macaulay, writer and rights advocate Saro-Wiwa, former lawmaker Farouk Lawan, among others. It was a mix of national heroes and convicted elites. The list generated so much controversy. Consequently, some names, such as Maryam Sanda, who was convicted for culpable homicide in 2020, were dropped. The president has reduced the list of beneficiaries from 175 to 120. But the public perception and debate about the propriety of the names in this list still linger. Now, in this report, Wale Fakile digs into the crux of that debate and the implication of the recent presidential pardon on the polity.
The total is about 175. Of the total, email recommended for presidential clemency were about 82.
In politics, mercy is sometimes never just mercy. It could be calculated. Across Nigeria's history, forgiveness has often carried the weight of strategy and sentiment. And here, villains and victims have sometimes found their names on the same page. In October 2025, President Bola Tinubu used one of the most potent powers in a democracy, the presidential pardon. He declared clemency for 175 people, with names stretching from national heroes to convicted elites. But then things changed. The public cried foul. Some names were removed. Under Section 175, the President may, after consultation with the Council of State, grant pardons, commute sentences, remit fines, or reprieve convicts. A full pardon wipes the conviction clean. A commutation alters the sentence, for example, from death to life. A reduction shortens the term served or remits part of the fine.
The provisions of Section 175 is such that the President is so powerful that the entire criminal justice system is subject to his discretion.
No president should have the power to kind of reverse what the rule of law has done, what the court has decided.
Pardons are rarely random. They often arrive at times of political calculation, pre-election, or after national pressure. They may respond to calls for reconciliation, to heal divisions, or to boost a leader's popularity.
You can't divorce such decisions from political undertones.
In January 2025, President Tinubu inaugurated the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, PSCPM, chaired by the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. The committee reviewed hundreds of applications. Criteria included age, health, remorse, educational attainments while incarcerated, and good conduct. The recommended list was submitted to the Council of State and then the President. The process was meant to bring structure and transparency to what was often ad hoc.
If you have so many of them in the committee who are up there, then they will leave the job to the secretariat. The secretariat can be lobbied, and the reasons provided, and the people will believe and make the list available.
We actually have a promised guideline. They have promised us guidelines, and we are yet to see that. So we should have these guidelines published for the PSCPM, that's the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, to follow, right? And should be transparent enough to have annual reporting and, of course, independent oversight.
Pardons have long stirred controversy in Nigeria. In 2000, former President Olusegun Obasanjo pardoned political prisoners, including Beko Ransom Kuti, and it was seen as a reconciliation gesture. In 2013, ex-President Goodluck Jonathan's clemency for former governor of Bayelsa State, Dieprie Alamesia, drew fierce criticism for appearing selective. Under immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari, The 2022 list pardoned ex-governors Jolin Yame and Joshua Dariye, sparking concerns over its administration's anti-corruption resolve. Understanding this history sets the stage for evaluating Tinubu's list. Initially, Tinubu's clemency covered 175 names across full pardon, commutation, reduction, and ex-conviction. Among the beneficiaries are Herbert Macaulay, Ken Saro-Wiwa and the Ogoni Nine, Maman Vatsa, Farouk Lawan, former PDP House member, convicted for bribery, Maryam Sanda, convicted for the murder of her husband. Soon after, under public pressure, the list was revised. President Tinubu reversed Maryam Sanda's pardon, reducing her sentence to 12 years. Special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Ononuga says, quote, "This action became necessary in view of the seriousness and security implications of some of the offenses and the need to be sensitive to the feelings of the victims of the crime." End of quote. The Secretariat of the Mercy Committee was also moved from special duties to the Ministry of Justice.
There must be a prescriptive law that is now saying, President, you have all this power, right? But in exercising it, we should not go beyond consultation with the Council of State. As we have now seen, the Council of State does not appear to apply adequate scrutiny.
Across Nigeria, reactions are mixed. Some welcome the correction of historic injustices, others accuse government of selective pardon.
For me, it's a balance, and it shows also that we're in a democracy where the president, even though he has the power to do some certain things, also listens to the people.
That list you see is a pardon list. Who know who is in charge? Okay, I have people in prison. Please help me to do this.
If they can still review it more, so that some names will not be there also, to be good for us.
Rights groups say dropping names like Maryam Sanda helped, but deeper questions remain.
We are going to have people that have been convicted previously of drug dealing, of armed robbery, and all of that, like walking freely. So that makes people wonder if justice is actually being done.
What the presidency did was moving from a bad situation to a worse one, adding salt to the injury. We believe that the president should have withdrew that pardon and clemency and apologized to Nigerians.
By pardoning national icons, Tinubu aligns himself with Nigeria's founding narrative of struggle and self-rule. By trimming the list, he signals accountability. At a time of economic strain, security challenges, and political uncertainty, this pardon list becomes part of his legacy building.
Because the credibility of the process was called to question, the first major implication is loss of trust in the decision-making process of the government.
That pardon is one of the biggest mistakes this government has done, even though they said that they have reviewed it, but that is not enough.
He's trying to please as many as he could, persuade them to be in his camp, so that 2027 presidential election will be a walkover.
Forgiveness can heal history or sidestep it. When pardon is selective, the memory it creates may exclude victims.
It poses one of the biggest risks to the rule of law, establishing the truth and the supremacy of the judiciary.
Justice is a three-way street, right? You have the perpetrator, you have the victim, and you have the state, right? So we should see that the stakeholders, particularly the victims, right, have been consulted.
It's important that sections like 175 in the Constitution receive additional enactment, a kind of prescriptive legislation that will put guardrails, provide criteria.
President Tinubu's October pardon is a bold reach into history, law, and politics. But forgiveness in Nigeria isn't purely legal. It's human and oftentimes political. And the message it sends may matter more than the justice it grants. Wale Fakile, Just Nigeria.